Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing. And I know that seems strange to a lot of people.
Live, a judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and sex trafficking.
Everyone is watching the courtroom drama that is sending shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond with decades of glitz and glamour. And it looks like Diddy's game may finally be over as a tough judge takes over and tightens his grip on one of the most astounding cases the entertainment industry has ever seen. A judge who is known for being as relentless as they come is at the center of Diddy's once untouchable empire, which is now overshadowed by grim accusations and on the verge of collapsing.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. There was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily so, I guess, right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind bars.
In contrast to the opulent arenas, he is accustomed to controlling this courtroom lacks VIP areas and private suites and Diddy Communications, a brand synonymous with luxurious power and influence, is now imprisoned and fighting for his life. Judge On Supermanen, who is renowned for his sharp legal intellect and no-nonsense style, took over the case at the beginning of the most recent chapter in our story. Let's just say that this isn't the kind of judge who is influenced by glittering resumes or celebrity status. Supermania has already made one thing clear. According to court insiders, the judge stated bluntly and unequivocally that there is compelling evidence that Diddy poses a threat to the community. He specifically cited allegations of witness interference, a deeply troubling history of intimidation, and of course, the notorious 2016 video that showed Diddy in a violent altercation with his former partner Cassie Binderu-Suber. Crystal Clear is not here to play games. In his most recent ruling, he denied Diddy's third attempt at bail. Manon wasn't holding back when he called it clear proof of Combs' violent tendencies. In addition to denying freedom, this decision said that the court would not bow to power or money.
You got a lot of money, and they got lawyers that can come up with different reasons and different information and present it to the courts that they are able to get how many bail hearings, as long as you got different information to present to the court, different evidence.
But who is this judge and why is his name suddenly making Diddy's legal team nervous? Supermanen has established a reputation as a formidable opponent who never backs down from high-stakes cases. His courtroom record speaks for itself. Insiders say he's meticulous, fair, but completely unyielding when it comes to ensuring justice is served for a case full of allegations of coercion, manipulation, and abuse. Having Supermanen at the helm might be Diddy's worst-case scenario, and sources close to the case are already whispering that the heat is getting to his lawyers.
I realize he got a lot of money. He still got a lot of money because he's paying these high-profile lawyers to take this case. So in having them to take this case, they're able to construct a lot of information together to making sure that when they go to the courts, they can say, yo, Your Honor, listen here. This is something that's changed. This is something that's new.
The courtroom losses are mounting, and Diddy's defense team, which includes some of the most powerful lawyers money can buy, is reportedly scurrying behind the scenes. Not to mention that this is their third unsuccessful attempt to secure bail for their client, despite offering an eye-popping $50 million package that included house arrest in a posh Manhattan apartment and 24-hour private security. Judge Subban was unimpressed and dismissed the case. According to a source close to the judge, Diddy would not allow anyone to buy their way out of responsibility, and no amount of money or privilege could guarantee that he would abide by the law.
Like, he might get bail. Now you're wondering why I'm saying that. See, they are trying to use some of the things that happen to criminals all the time, or inmates all the time. They always, brother, they always do those impromptu search.
Prosecutors have painted a damning picture of the music mogul's alleged behavior while in custody, and it's not just the judge who has Diddy's team worried. Reports have surfaced that Diddy has been using other inmates' phone accounts to evade monitoring and contact people with whom he is expressly forbidden to communicate. What's even more shocking are allegations that he has been planning attempts to influence witnesses from behind bars, according to an assistant U.S. attorney. Instructions to locate damning material on Diddy's accusers were included in Christy Slavic's handwritten notes that were found in his detention cell. While Diddy's attorneys have maintained that these notes were protected under the attorney-client pledge, the judge decided otherwise, allowing the prosecution to keep the documents as evidence for Diddy. This was a devastating blow that only adds to the already mounting mountain of legal issues. LV did not hold back court, calling it a blatant attempt to obstruct justice.
They said that when they did the impromptu search, well, they took some of his legal information, and the judge ordered them to give that back. So I guess the lawyers are going to come up with a couple of new things saying that he can't properly, have his.
However, we must not overlook the drama that surrounded that well-known jail sale hunt. The Bureau of Prisons has been accused by Diddy's legal team of violating their client's constitutional rights by obtaining private documents. One of Diddy's lawyers, Mark Angan, referred to the search as a complete institutional failure and wanted access to the CCTV tape of the incident. He even suggested that the case itself should be thrown, or that the entire prosecution team could need to disqualify themselves. Despite bold allegations, the court has not yet accepted them. Instead, Judge Supermanen has directed that the notes be kept safe while the parties discuss the legal ramifications of the page's contents, for the time being weigh heavily on the case, casting an even more ominous shadow on Diddy's struggle for liberty.
None of that to be true. I believe that they went in there just like they do all the other inmates based on the information they had. You got to realize this, bro. They found out that Diddy was using other inmates' phone cards. Now that probably happens all the time.
Speaking of shadows, let's discuss the increasing number of accusers who have come forward in recent months. The accusations are both frightening and extensive, with over 100 people currently having legal representation. According to Busby, Diddy, Tony Booby's infamous freak-off parties were more than just wild celebrity get-togethers. They were allegedly the scene of extremely disturbing behavior. Busby has even started threatening high-profile celebrities who attended these events with demand letters, warning them to reach an out-of-court settlement or risk legal action. It's a daring tactic that might have major repercussions throughout Hollywood, suggesting that anyone who watched and did nothing during these events is involved in the alleged misconduct.
Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes.
Yes.
The shopping thing is.
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession.
Hold on a minute. Say that again. Say that again, backup. You're claiming that there are tapes and that they're being shopped. Yes, there have been people who have already done so. We've heard about the tapes, but the shopping is already underway. There have been tapes that have been leaking around Hollywood and being cut to people in Hollywood. But one person in particular contacted me to shop a specific video that they had.
Sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home.
Okay.
At a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so to me doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participants in the video.
However, returning to the courtroom where the stakes are extremely high, Judge Supermanen's decisions are establishing the tone for what is expected to be a historic trial. Legal experts are already speculating that this case may establish a new precedent for how the justice system handles cases involving wealth and influence, as well as for celebrity accountability. Although Diddy's legal team is fighting valiantly, the signs are not looking good. As one legal analyst put it, this judge isn't just supervising a case, he's making a statement.
Did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties. engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol, things of that nature.
As the trial date draws nearer, all eyes will be on Judge Supermanin and his decisions. Will Diddy's legal team be able to turn the tide, or is this really the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most iconic figures? Diddy is still behind bars, a far cry from the extravagant lifestyle he once flaunted. The courtroom battles are far from over, but it's getting harder to imagine a scenario where he walks away unscathed. There is little doubt that this is an unfinished story.
Pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share. But more importantly,
as the scene switches from the courtroom to the jail cell, the attention turns to Diddy's current situation, and believe us, it's a far cry from the red carpets and private jets he once called home. The days of designer suits, private jets, and all-night Saras are long gone, and now the once dominant hip-hop artist is confined to a small sterile room in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. But here's the really bad news. Despite his fall from grace, Diddy's world has completely fallen apart. If anything, Diddy's journey is just getting started. The harsh reality he faces within those prison walls is one thing, but the tempest that is building outside is quite another. Let's dissect it all, beast.
At the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, their legal documents, the government's saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar.
Imagine a man who used to live in expansive mansions, but now spends his days in a small cell with other inmates in conditions that are anything but glamorous. The Metropolitan Detention Center isn't exactly known for its hospitality, and rumors have even circulated that Diddy has been placed in a section designated for high-profile inmates or those who require special protection. But make no mistake, this is not the life he's used to. Sources close to the situation have whispered that Diddy has already lost a noticeable amount of weight and looks noticeably older. We used to see the confident, larger-than-life character on stage, and he appears to be a man who is aware that he is in severe difficulty at.
That's it. If it is privilege, of course they won't. But if it really is what the prosecution says, that has nothing to do with the case, or even worse, it's actually evidence of witness tampering, because we all know the attorney-client privilege, there's a crime fraud exception. You can't use your lawyer to perpetuate a future or continuing fraud or crime. So if the documents are what the government says they are, they're going to get them again. And again, it's just going to be a matter of days, because I don't expect.
However, it's important to remember the power dynamics within the jail as well. Although Diddy's legal team has worked tirelessly to secure his release, offering everything from house arrest to a security team to watch his every move, the courts have remained steadfast. Judge Submanin's refusal to grant bail sent a clear message that no one, not even someone as powerful as Diddy, is above the law for the time being. He's stuck in a place where his wealth and connections mean nothing.
Yeah, they probably didn't see these notes, and they never will.
But if you're Diddy, don't you want your notes back?
Yeah.
If you've spent so many hours gathering evidence for your side or strategy or whatever, for me I'd be oh no, please don't destroy, please return.
However, the real pandemonium is occurring outside despite the horrible conditions inside. The sheer number of accusations against Diddy has caused a feeding frenzy in the media, with new accusers or surprising revelations appearing daily. High-profile names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Jennifer Lopez have been dragged into the story, not because they are directly accused of wrongdoing, but because their association with Diddy is enough to raise eyebrows. This revelation comes to light, and let's not forget the circulating rumors about the celebrities who were allegedly part of his infamous gathering. Even those who were bystanders at these events are not exempt, according to attorney Tony Busby, who represents more than 100 alleged victims. He has stated publicly that if you were present and you witnessed wrongdoing and did nothing, you are just as guilty as the perpetrators.
So there's a few things going on. First is the privilege issue. The judge will decide whether the documents are privileged or not. If they're not, they're going to go to the government. If the documents are not only not privileged, but they're evidence of witness tampering, then a few things can happen, all of which are bad for Sean Diddy Combs. First, of course, it faced obstruction of justice charges in a superseding indictment.
Hollywood has been rocked by this. And according to insiders, several of Diddy's erstwhile associates are now frantically trying to remove themselves. Private discussions are taking place, social media profiles are being cleaned up, and Diddy's once close-knit network of celebrity friends is beginning to fall apart according to a source. People are afraid because they don't know how far this investigation will go or who else might be affected. It's not just the star's business executives and event planners. Even former employees are reportedly preparing to testify or worse, face legal action themselves.